All right. Good evening, West Texans, and all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. Happy Wednesday night, everybody. We are under intense fire here at the Arctic Air Studios. We've got quarter-sized hail. We've got winds gusting into the 40s and 50s. A thunderstorm complex brewing up south to our southwest, moving across the South Plains. We lost power for about 15, 20 minutes. Came back on about 5 minutes ago. I hope you guys are reading this 5x5. We're going to do the best we can to get everybody out there. Indeed, the talking box is on. So, yeah, we're still taking a little bit of hell right now. The winds have subsided. It was a little bit of an outflow boundary collecting back into the storms that were kicking off a dry line just to the east of us. And it was that perfect storm of wind being sucked into a massive thunderstorm complex, and then everything that's moving is, if you're paying attention in West Texas right now, moving back across southern Lynn and southern Lubbock County and everything else. So hopefully that's about the end of it for us right now. Is the weather bug on the TV yet? Don't know. I hadn't been able to get the TV working here in the last few minutes. We lost the TV. But you know what you don't lose? KFYO. That's right. KFYO, KFYO.com. Unfortunately, it was just Chad Hasty talking. And he don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, you've always got KFYO. And I highly recommend everybody, weather-wise, make sure your phone, you've got a couple of local stations on the app. KFYO is the one you want. If you're in Lubbock County and the surrounding areas, you'll be able to get stuff that way. Your phone will probably have a battery charge on it. You most likely will be able to get it. Now, this is weird today because we already had outages around Abernathy, apparently, and north of Lubbock. Today was wireless communications and everything. And then that was before the weather. So, yeah, weird day. But here we are. Hopefully, you guys are out there as well. We're going to talk tech baseball with you tonight. Big 10 SEC, they're going to unionize college sports. You knew it was coming. They told you it was coming, and now it's pretty much here. And then helmet sticker to the University of North Carolina Frat Boys who rallied around the flag. Let's do it in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, where you start your day today. It was overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday. We had everything from the Kentucky Derby out there to baseball brawls. You start your day there. Get your comments in. We're brought to you by, of course, Arctic Air in the Arctic Air Studios. Gears by you, 98th and Slide Road. Hot Cajun food, cold drinks, a great patio, music like Thursday, Friday, Saturday out there on the patio. And then all the tech games are there. And Golf USA. My son was at the range today, not the driving range, the range. Hey, shout out to the range. Hey. And I saw a video of him hitting. I'm like, I need to send you over to Stacy Nicks and get a few things straightened out over there at Golf USA 66 in Indiana. And then all the communications, whether you are on YouTube, we got people coming in on YouTube. Hi there, Damon. Hi there, Alan. On Facebook, CJ. On Twitter, everybody on Twitter, you can get in as well. Type in your questions and comments. We'd love to hear from the Twitter people. A lot of people on Twitter watch, but they're like voyeuristic. Yeah, jump in. United Supermarkets makes that happen. And then our friends at Boot City, usually providing the Western wear. Today we're just wearing a old College World Series shirt. I think this is the 18 version. Can you tell? What does it have a year on it or anything? Maybe over here. Backwards. What does that say? No, that's 2016. Yeah. Anyhow, 2016 College World Series shirt. We're talking baseball lineup. Boy, it's quiet now. Eerie. Weird. There's some Old Testament weather there for a little while, for about 30 minutes here on the South Plains. Glad you're with us. Tech baseball. Will they make the NCAA tournament? They win last night 11-6 over UT Rio Grande Valley. The last 4 innings were shutout innings pitched by the pen. The bats kept you going up to that point. UT Rio Grande Valley, not a bad team. They beat Texas earlier this year. Now you got Oklahoma State, trip out to Tempe, 2 against Arizona State, 1 against UNLV. Do they make it? RPI 38 today, I believe is where they are. Do they get in or not? Why or why not? You need to win the series, obviously, against Oklahoma. You got to win the series at home. Oklahoma State, don't get swept. Think this team can do it? You tell me. Need a sponsor for the Raiderland weather bug during live broadcast. Absolutely, we do. I am Leatherbug, apparently. CJ, they showed up offensively yesterday for a change. They did, however, I'm going to get into something in the game that continues a problem for this team. That sometimes a midweek win, CJ, comes up. Craig, yeah, the power back on at our house, good deal. And the talking box is on. Chris, hopefully the series in Arizona at Arizona State doesn't get canceled due to bees. Yeah, that was there at Chase Field or whatever they call it now with the Diamondbacks and what was it, Diamondbacks and Dodgers last night. The beekeeper comes in, gets the bees, throws out the first pitch. We love it. That's also the stadium where the Diamondbacks play that I broadcast a Lady Raider game that was canceled with about 3 minutes and 46 seconds left in the game that was canceled early because of rain at a baseball stadium that has a roof. Roof guy apparently not there. One guy had one job to do. Hey, my rain closed the roof. What a shit show that thing was. That's still, I can't believe I was involved in that. It was horrible. But true fact, game stopped, 3:46 to go at Chase Field, rain. I was trying not to get electrocuted that night, sort of like tonight. Chris showed up against who? See, Chris doesn't like Tech baseball, doesn't like, hates the team. He only shows up when things are bad. When things are good, I never see him. But when things are bad, I think he thinks things are bad. So I'll ask Chris: is this team going to make the NCAA tournament this year? Will they make it? 2 Big 12 series left. What happened? Trace is on. Let's go start. Yeah, it's a big night for the Stars. It's about the time when I now begin to pay attention to the NHL. No offense. I used to really pay attention during the regular season, but now I'm pretty much a postseason guy, and even then, kind of Stars postseason guy. Evie Mays should be sponsoring the Hot Links. They should. There's a lot of great people that should sponsor the Hot Links every day. Hopefully their series in Arizona State, didn't get canceled due to bees. Lose 2 series and no. Yeah, if you lose against Oklahoma this weekend, if you lose against Oklahoma State, and you probably will, I think you can take one. Then you have to go out there at Arizona, and you're kind of fighting for your life. You're probably going to be right around where you are RPI-wise. You're going to play 2 teams in the Big 12, have a higher RPI than you. That'll help. That moderates anything, so you don't give any ground. And if you get a win or 2, you might move up. So you probably go out to Arizona, depending on what you do, obviously, in the 2 series, right around anywhere from 25 to 30 in the RPI. That's playing with fire. Again, depending on what happens around the country. Now, Arizona State, not very good. UNLV, not very good. But then you got to go on the road and score runs, and you don't score runs on the road. Going to be tough. Yeah, the Hot Links need a sponsor big time. Meanwhile, we had the Big 10 and the SEC announcing yesterday, or not announcing necessarily so much as a CBSSports.com story coming out, what we've known for a while, that they're at the center of developing, according to who wrote the story? I want to give him credit. Yeah, it's Dennis Dodd. I thought it was Dennis Dodd. By the way, Dennis Dodd's a good dude. He's been in Lubbock several times. I've had a chance to shake his hand just briefly, while he's eating, some chicken bits and whatever there. And just, hey, man, appreciate it. He's like, SEC Big 10 at the center of developing a revenue-sharing plan with players that would redefine college athletics for the future, CBS Sports has learned. The still unrefined proposal, currently utilizing the name Modern Model. I like that, Modern Model. I think that was a David Bowie album in about 1981, Modern Model. Would not only share revenue with players, but also perhaps help settle House versus NCAA lawsuit that goes to trial January 25. The antitrust suit is a class action complaint alleging the NCAA and power conferences have conspired to suppress athlete compensation. They did. They'll lose. It'll be a settlement. So we get to the idea of what the Big 10 and the SEC are doing. So let's cut to everything what they want to do and see how you guys feel about it. They're going to create a revenue sharing program. Now, what is revenue sharing? Revenue sharing is what happens in the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, WNBA. How is that achieved? How can you have revenue sharing? How can you share revenue with a finite group of people? Anyone? Bueller? Do I have any sports business majors in the audience tonight? Do I have any business majors in the audience tonight? Do I have sports litigators, lawyers, or otherwise in the audience tonight? Do I have anybody that's paid attention over the last 50 years to sports? Kurt Flood, Major League Baseball. Anyone? All the golf clubs made it back. He broke 100 for the first time. Pretty proud. The offense has not traveled well this year. No, it is not. Talking about Tech baseball. Bingo. Collective bargaining. Allen. Look at the big brain on Allen. Get a load of the big brain on Allen. Now, what is the only way you can legally enter into a collectively bargained agreement? Contractually in the United States, going beyond a singular entity, and then we extrapolate that out past state lines, and we involve multiple places. What is the only way to enter into a collectively bargained agreement? How do you do that? What's in Kansas State, KU, Kansas series could define us. Yeah, maybe so. Damon types in union. Bingo. The only way you can share revenue is to create a collective bargain agreement with a union. So what we're seeing here, and they're going to beat everybody to the punch, wait for it, they will do it. The SEC and the Big 10 are going to collaborate. Stop. Collaborate. Listen. They will work together and they will create a union where if you want to play football, and it'll be football first, and they don't care, they're going to break it out. NCAA, pound rock, pound sand, don't matter. They will create a league just like the AFL, NFL / AFC, NFC. And if you want to play college football in those two conferences, you will become a member of a union and you will sign a contract. You don't sign a scholarship anymore. You will sign a contract, and you'll have an entry-level contract and maybe a secondary level contract, but you will sign a contract. And that'll kill off the old transfer thing that people hate, everybody transferring. Now you're under contract, 2 years, 3 years, whatever you can negotiate, whatever you come in. Maybe you come in as an undrafted free agent. Maybe they institute, imagine this, the Big 10 and the SEC introduce a draft of high school players. Wow. How could they do that? Same way the NFL does it with college players. You're going to work for a union. There will be a union that will represent those two conference players, and there they go. That's how you share the revenue. That's how you try to come down on the player cost. Now, what's really interesting is the NFL does all of this, and what NIL really is just advertising contracts. That Patrick Mahomes, he only makes a certain amount from the Chiefs. He makes this amount from his advertising contracts. State Farm, and Head and Shoulders, and Coors Light, and all that stuff. So the NCAA, the SEC, the Big 10, they're going to have to come to grips with the idea that they're going to have to let go of the idea that these players are still going to have NIL. And that can still come from boosters. That can still come from anybody. I mean, right now, if you are a Texas Tech fan and you love Patrick Mahomes and you own a ditch digging service in Whit Harrell, Texas, and you wanted to give him $25 million to say, hi, Patrick Mahomes, and when I dig ditches, I dig them with Whit Harrell ditch digging. The best damn ditch diggers I've ever dug a ditch with. The NFL can't stop that. So you're still going to have that element. But to make it work, the schools are still going to have to get the money flowing into the school to pay the contracts under the collectively bargained agreement that'll have a cap that each school can pay. Now they can still pay beyond that. Again, they can still go out and do NIL. They can still get advertising contracts. So it sounds like what I'm saying is that the SEC and Big 10 are about to mimic the NFL. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. You're a little late. Ice is back. They're going to be back with a brand new mission. Alan, college players striking 2030 will be hilarious. And yeah, no, Alan nailed it. There will be at some point a college football players strike. Because what does every union do? They go on strike, and there will be a strike. And then fans are going to get mad and they'll say, I'm never going to support this again. They're going to get angry. And then they'll do what all the other fans do, and they go right back to watching their favorite teams play games, whether it's the Rangers or whoever. And yeah, you're right. There will be a strike. Could you see trades in season between teams? Absolutely. I have a contract for a certain cornerback. Who set that out there? Chris. I got a contract on a cornerback. He's starting for me. I need a running back. I just lost my running back to a knee injury, and so in the in the Big 10, Iowa's got a running back that he's not getting a lot of carries. It's not being featured. We really need him. We'll trade our cornerback. Iowa needs a cornerback, and Iowa trades the cornerback down there to LSU. There you go. 100%. Again, collectively bargain agreements, union, NFL, same thing. Damon, Nick Saban may come out of retirement for this plan. He didn't do well in the NFL the first time around. I doubt he's going to come out of retirement for this plan because it doesn't really address the things that he doesn't like. So the big question is going to be, will you guys put up with it? And I say 100% you will. That everybody who loves Texas Tech, everybody who enjoys Texas Tech football, that I believe you will root for laundry, you'll root for uniforms because you do it for the Cowboys, you do it for the Rangers, you do it for whatever. None of those people. There is no University of Dallas Cowboys. There is no University of Texas Rangers. They don't all live in Arlington. It's not like the Texas Rangers that every single player is from Texas. Now, that'd be cool if they put a rule in pro sports that everybody playing for a team had to be within 75 or 100 miles of the team location. I sign me up. But you guys don't care. You'll bitch, you'll moan, but you don't care, and you'll continue to watch, support, and otherwise. And we'll reach a certain point, and I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime. Maybe it will. I intend to live to about 170 to 185. We've been doing certain protocols, and with a certain amount of revenue and income, I don't think it's outrageous to expect that I can't live and extend my life to that point. At a certain point, and it's already divorced from the university, let's admit it, that athletic departments are already operating and have been on a separate entity away from the university. At a certain point, the university will just kind of be like a sponsor, and none of the players will necessarily go to the school. Now they can if they want to. If they want to go to the school, they can. But they'll justify this by saying, and this is how they have justified the expenditures on college athletics for 50 years now. Sports is a great window to the university. This is an advertisement that allows people to see how great our university is. And by sponsoring high level college athletics, it drives revenue, it drives enrollment, and people see how great our university is by watching them on the football field and on the basketball court and on the baseball field and on the tennis court and the golf course and everything else. And the universities will just say, this is an advertisement. We're advertising. So they will sponsor. They will sponsor, but those people won't go to school. And I don't think anybody will care at a certain point. Chris, makes a lot more sense why these football programs are hiring GMs now. Absolutely. Well, they're hiring GMs right now, not because they have a salary cap to manage, they have a NIL cap to manage that they have to 100% go out there and figure out with the collective. And they work hand in hand with the collective now and say, all right, how much do we have to spend on basketball this year? Our average guy is going to take 225,000 on a roster of 13. We're going to be spending probably $4 million for our top two guys. If they're they're in NBA draft eligible guys that are capable of playing the NBA, we're probably looking at paying about 2.5 million between those two guys. So then we got to drop down and we've got to manage this, and we can get a power forward in to complement this. It's capology, baby. That's what's going on. Basketball figured it out about 2 years ago. Football's figuring it out now. And that's why, as Chris says, that's why you have GMs that deal with the collective on how to spend the money, on how to get the players in to make you guys go out there and watch the games. So last night, there in the campus, yesterday on campus of the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, a bunch of pro-terrorists, a bunch of Hamas supporters, anti-Semites, people who hate Jews. They got to the flagpole and they tore the American flag down and they raised the Palestinian flag. And Frat Boys rode to the rescue. Croquis, shorts, polo shirts. They rode to the rescue, man. They saved the flag. They got it. They formed a barrier. Got the flag back up there. They sang the Star Spangled Banner. They were taking heat. They were taking fire. They're getting crap thrown at them. God bless them. Here's to you, helmet sticker to the North Carolina Frat Boys who made it happen yesterday. We need much more of that. I think we're seeing that. I think we're going to see a pushback. It made me feel better about America's youth that happened. At Tech, we've only seen, last week we saw like a 30-minute protest by the pro-terrorist people. They kind of withered off. I saw something about they were going to do a 12-hour liberation, whatever. Hey, somebody call up the KAs, AGR. I think the SIGEPs may be off campus right now, but don't know that for sure. Let's get our guys out there, right? It's the football team out there. And I just don't want to be accused of fomenting violence against peaceful protesters. So I should probably shut my mouth at this point. They didn't surrender when the Germans attacked Pearl Harbor. Stop it. He's on a roll. There sure needs to be a cap on NIL. CJ, you don't understand NIL. NIL can't be capped. NIL is advertising. NIL is the money that Patrick Mahomes gets from State Farm. That can never be capped. The money that the schools will pay can be capped. But NIL, name, image, and likeness, and that's where it confuses a lot of people. I get it, CJ. That can never be capped. That's your ability to go out and trade on your name that every pro athlete can do. Tiger Woods made more money, out there getting endorsements from Nike and everybody else than he made winning tournaments. You have to think of it that way. Separate NIL from what we're going to pay to play. You just can't. Sorry. These are 20-year-olds, don't have a clue, or they need an agent. Most of the 35-year-olds don't have a clue, and they need an agent. So, deploy Tony Bradford. Exactly. He's like the Texas Rangers. One Ranger, one riot. We got a problem out there. They're on Memorial Circle. And if they desecrate that area, by God, I may go down there my old ass self. Tony Bradford can make it happen. Story today, Brett Yormark, he's the Big 12 commissioner, said he supports expanding the NCAA basketball tournament. I believe he said he was opened up to 76. Fran Fraschilla, we talked about it back in the tournament, had an idea to kind of expand it a little bit, and I'm good on that now. Do we need to expand it that much? I think what Yormark is doing is he is getting in front of the idea that all of this stuff we're talking about, the break off of college football, is the tournament at some point will be just the province of the fall playing schools. And they'll put on a tournament with all the big names. And because they have all the football playing schools, the networks will go, all right, we'll air your basketball tournament because this is a way to amateurize the cost of paying for football. So we can have all of the sponsors and everything else, and we'll have a 64-team tournament involving none of the small schools. We don't pay them. We roll this into the football deal. And they'll put on their own basketball tournament, and they'll have none of the small schools. And you guys will love it, and you won't care. And you'll go, we really didn't like watching Davidson play anyways. We didn't really care about Richmond and Wichita, and that's what's going to happen. And you guys will deal with it. I mean, we have gone from the start of the broadcast looking like Old Testament weather, all hell breaking loose, to sunny skies back to my southwest. Getting back out towards the west in that area. The wind's blowing a little bit. Not bad. You guys have been pretty good tonight. Last chance, Tech baseball thoughts. Be back with you tomorrow on a Thursday night. It's always enjoyable. One thing, Gators Bayou, hot Cajun food, ice cold beverages. Golf USA, Stacy Nicks, great Raider, and of course, United Supermarkets. You guys are 100% the best audience we have out there. I want you to share this with everybody you see. Tell them about it. Grow the audience. Do it tonight. And we'll